All right, cool. So, first off, my name is Zach. Introduce myself, and then I'll hand over to Miguel to introduce him, so he can introduce himself. Excuse me. Maybe not had enough coffee this morning yet. This is my first time hosting a webinar, and so bear with me. Do me a favor and just be patient if I'm messing up some of the tech stuff. I'm trying to learn my way around, but like I said, my name is Zach, and I am the director of business education, or excuse me, a business coordinator at PushPress. Role change here recently, and my goal is to bring you guys content that is going to empower you to make better business decisions and run a more successful business, whether that's a CrossFit gym affiliate, yoga studio, MMA, what have you. Most of the principles that we're talking about should apply across the board. But obviously, we are here to answer any specific questions that you guys have at the end of the Q&A or during the Q&A. This webinar flow will go kind of quick in the sense that there's not too much in-depth content to cover about hybrid memberships. It's going to be a down and dirty, real basic overview, and then we'll have a brief Q&A at the end, and hopefully get you guys out of here on time. So, with that being said, Miguel, can you do me a favor and give me some background on yourself?
Sure, sure. How's it going, everybody? So I was previously a 10-year affiliate owner, and currently now I'm an account executive here at PushPress. So all the extra stuff, maybe I've talked to some of you guys already. All the extra products that you guys are looking to add to help you grow your business, you probably be talking to me. I want to apologize in advance if I'm sneezing up a storm here. My allergies are on full blown today, so we'll go from there.
No worries on that, dude. I know stuff is going around and it's making it an early spring allergy season for a lot of people. Is my volume good? I just wanted to double check. Miguel, you can hear me, right?
Really good.
All right, cool. Awesome. Thanks for the feedback, everyone. Cool. Just to give you guys a little bit more relevant background to myself, I am double timing on push press with seminar staff for CrossFit headquarters. So I don't want to hear any complaints about the open or anything like that. I don't need to hear any of that stuff. If you have shit that you want to talk about Dave Castro, you can send it to me in the DMs and I'll pass it up. That's totally fine. But other than that, I was a 10-year affiliate owner. I owned 5 gyms in Las Vegas over the course of 10 years. And some of you may have visited CrossFit Max Effort in its heyday. So if you're over in Vegas, and yeah, I know Miguel, you had dropped in a couple times, or I'd seen you there. But it's not that I'm just coming to you from seminar staff and push press and being like, hey, this is what we're seeing. A lot of this stuff that Miguel and I are going to speak about stems from our own experience, and a lot of it is anecdotal, and a lot of it is backed by the data that we've collected at Push Press. So, with that being said, let us dive right in. We are going to start by simply defining what it is that we're talking about today. So, everybody's got my screen. Miguel, does that look good to you?
It's good.
All right, cool. Gym business with hybrid memberships. Let's start by talking specifically about what it is. Uh, Simply put, it's a way to package or bundle a combination of services or products to create a more holistic solution to your customer's problem. That's a mouthful, really, but it's a simply packaged solution to multiple issues that your customers are going to have inside your business. So if we have individual solutions set up, that's one thing. But what we want to do is organize them in a way that makes sense for your customer to come in and buy multiple things, therefore increasing the revenue that they're driving to your business. It's not a very complex uh, concept. I don't want to make it overly complex. So just think that, hey, I have a bunch of products or a bunch of services or a bunch of amenities, and we're going to combine them in any way that makes sense, that we see most often purchased by our customers. Now, if we talk about the specific types of hybrid memberships, I don't know why that meme resonated with me. I just wanted to put that in there, that little GIF. We have four different categories that I want you guys thinking about. We have memberships and appointments, amenities, and retail. Obviously, there's some examples underneath there, but you can combine any and all of these into whatever solution makes most sense for your members. And the best way to go about looking at this right off the bat is, what do people buy? If you're not doing hybrid memberships or package deals or bundles, whatever you want to call them, what are people already buying individually that makes sense to put together? So if you have personal training at your gym, does it make sense to lump in a one-on-one session every month? That was something that we did at Max Effort, was along with your monthly membership, you got a skill session, a 45-minute session with one of the coaches. And it was packaged in there at a discounted cost, but it was a very specific session to work on a given skill. So if you've been a member for 6 months, you've had 6 months of group training and obviously all the coaching that you're going to get in there, but then you had six 45-minute one-on-one sessions with Coach Isaac or Zach or Miguel to work on whatever skill it is that you wanted. Same thing can be applied to like nutrition or goal setting, right? And those are all appointments. I know there are a lot of gyms that offer other amenities like sauna, ice bath. What is it? That cold plunge. That's all the craze. Have you done that, Miguel? Cold plunge?
Have, yeah. I'm actually looking going to build one.
Dude, I did that stuff in the military. I don't know why people would want to do that at, like, of their own free will. I don't even get it. But I know some gyms are now starting to offer that stuff, and it makes sense to, obviously, if you're not just providing it for free to your members, to lump it in with the membership at an additional revenue point, obviously. Retail, this is very popular when signing people up for their initial membership. So when you sign up at a CrossFit gym, for instance, I've seen many gyms package a t-shirt and a shaker bottle and maybe a jump rope or a pair of lifting straps or excuse me, hand protectors with their first month's membership. That all makes sense because it's the stuff that's going to set you up for success further down the road as a member. So hopefully, you guys have your brains working in a couple different ways. One, how do you currently have your services and products stratified? And two, what makes the most sense to lump into a single purchase point? And what I would like to do now is allow Miguel to go over the actual benefits of that stuff.
Cool. All right, let's get everything going there, Zach.
Yep. It's on a delay, apparently.
We're gonna slow roll it. All right. So what I want to just talk about are the benefits for having the hybrid membership. Now this is just from my experience that I've done at my gym. We basically did a hybrid membership for about 5 years. Um, and three key points that we want to talk about was basically the benefits to just to the business, to the staff, and for the clients. Um, oh, where's our chart?
I don't know.
There
There
we
it is.
go. Here's our chart, right? And we see our intersection right there in the middle. Okay, that's what we're trying to focus on. So for the business, couple benefits there is going to be the increased revenue and the increased retention. And Zach will allude to it later about how you could price and maximize your value for the services that you're offering. Within my gym, we offered, of course, the private training, nutrition, goal setting, um, accountability. So lots of different things that we were offering to help grow that hybrid membership. Um, and then a byproduct of those hybrid memberships was just the increase in retention, um, because the clients were seeing results. And as you can see there, like in our third point at the bottom, the faster they see their results, the more happy they are. And in turn, we were actually getting a lot more referrals that way, just because of the results that they were having, posting it on social media and whatnot. Um, and I think for me, one of the biggest things, or number two on the list, but the benefits to the staff. It allowed the staff to have an increased pay and have more of like an entrepreneurial spirit attached to it. Um, I know with us, most of the coaches that I brought on were coaches who wanted to do, bigger and better things, and so they had that drive to increase personal training and our hybrid memberships. So increase in pay, happier coaches, and just like in that intersection right there in the middle was basically like a win-win for everybody. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had gone back and put these stats into the slide now that I think about it, but I did do some research on this and I want you guys to ponder these numbers. A gym that runs hybrid memberships or packaged bundle deals on average, from our system and then from the data that we pull at Push Press, and then also I
Mhm.
average that with the Two Brain report. Those gyms generate 34% more revenue annually. 34%, that's a third. That's that's a pretty significant bump. Uh, their average length of engagement for retaining membership is 46% longer. That blows my mind. So you're telling me that if I just package more services and products together, that I'm likely to almost increase my length of engagement, my retention by 50%. That's a staggering number. And now again, these are numbers that are pulled from PushPress's dashboard and the Two Brain business report. I will speak anecdotally on the point that you brought up, Miguel. When we went to a hybrid system with one-on-ones and memberships, I was able to start paying my coaches a significant more amount of money, like to the point to where I was able to make, I want to say, two of the six people that we had at our central location, they were able to transition to a full-time position with us.
Yeah.
And and I know that nobody gets into CrossFit for the money, let's say, but that's definitely a way to start the foundation of professionalism within your staff is by offering them a professional wage. So I think that speaks for itself. Clients, could you dive into that a little bit more? What you mean by quicker results?
Yeah. So most of the clients that I had, that were in a hybrid membership, the primary goal was, hey, I need to lose a lot of weight faster, right? But obviously do it the right way. So we would set them up not only with their group classes, but one-on-one sessions working on some skilled movements or um, just extra strength development, right? Like some, I would do a little bit of extra bodybuilding with my clients, just because they wanted to work on their physique. But on average, they were losing, I would say, I think like 8 pounds a month, the right way too, right? Like eating lots of food. One of my uh, one of my coaches on staff is a certified nutritionist, so we really worked on developing a plan specifically for them to get the results that they want without the crazy different diets that are out there in the world, right? We want to make sure they win and they're successful, without going to the extremes of the different programs that's out there. So once they saw the results a lot faster, I literally have everybody coming to me and like, hey, I'm buying new clothes because this doesn't fit anymore, or I'm running faster now in our workouts, which is which is great to hear because now they're pushing themselves a little bit more as opposed to dragging, I guess, for a lack of a better word, in the
It's like
classes.
a ripple effect.
Yeah. So everything kept going and going and going. And then and like I mentioned earlier, like we ended up getting more referrals from that, because they would refer it to their family and their friends, post pictures on social media. And so we ended up getting more and more of those, the more members based on those results and having it set up more for the hybrid memberships as opposed to just the um, the group classes.
So that makes total sense. I mean, if your clients are happier, if they feel like they're getting more value, they're going to talk about your gym, your business a little bit more. The one thing I want to bring attention to about that specific scenario and that specific instance is that you had systems in place to capitalize on that stuff. So it's not going to be just, oh, set up hybrid memberships and bundles and packages, sell products with retail, excuse me, with services and all that stuff, and all this will happen. That's basically the first step. And then we have more systems that need to get put into place in order to capitalize on these three things: the benefits for the business, the benefits for the staff, the benefits to the clients. And we'll touch on that in a little bit. The first thing I want to go over before we do that, though, is a quick, very simple overview of pricing strategies for hybrid memberships. I put price the value in quotes because I want that in your head when you are coming up with the final price. Now, this is again a very simplistic overview, and I say price the value because I think a lot of people end up devaluing or underpricing what they're putting out. And excuse me, the first thing that you're going to need to do is determine all pricing for each individual service and product. And guess what? 99% of you have already done this. You know exactly what you want to charge for group membership for a given retail product, for a given amenity. You guys already have that. Now, what I want you to do is after you've determined which pairings go well together, like membership with a nutrition session once a month, or membership with a one-on-one skill session, or first month membership with, a jump rope and a shaker. Once you guys have written those combos down, I want you to spend some time brainstorming or thinking, giving some good thought to whether or not combining that into one sale makes anything more efficient in your business, makes anything happen more efficiently in your business. Does it provide a cost savings in the way of labor or any other resource? Right. And I want you to jot notes down next to that plan. So I know, for instance, that when we bundled the regular group membership with the skill session, the 45-minute skill session, the cost reduction was actually in internal marketing and my trainer's time. They didn't need to go out and one, ask for the sale because it was already built in at the front end. Two, the scheduling happened automatically. We automated communications. So we were actually saving a couple man hours per week. And then based off the cost savings to the business, the efficacy that was gained through bundling, we actually weighted the prices on the services differently so that it made it a no-brainer for the client, but still maintained our margins in the business. So here's a real quick down and dirty example. Like I said, group class membership, if you're charging 200 bucks a month and a one-on-one full hour session is 80 bucks an hour. Cool. You want to be able to bundle the one PT, uh, weekly PT in a monthly package. So four times a month, it's going to be $240. Excuse me, that's 320. Check my math. Gosh, check my math, Miguel. One-time PT week is actually 320 now that I'm looking at it. My math is off, right? So this total number at the bottom is going to be a little bit different. But we have $200 a month plus 320 is $520 a month, not 440. And what I did was I took the average length of training that we had for a given member. So if a member stayed with us on average for 8 months, they were going to do 32 PT sessions, again, times eight times four. There's the math is correct there. I don't know why I had it wrong up here, right? That's a total value package, meaning we need to come up with the 32 PT sessions at $80 a session. What is that? 32 times 80, $2,560. $2,560 on top of the monthly membership that is $200 a month. So we add that, which is times eight. So that's $1,600. $4,160 total package, right? What I did was I found out what margin I wanted to maintain as a business owner for the one-on-one rates. And now you pay your trainer probably differently than I paid my trainer. Everybody's going to do that differently. So I can't really put that math up here because you guys are all going to have different variables that you need to take into consideration. But essentially, the PT rate that I agreed upon with the rest of the staff ended up being $60 a month. So we determined that instead of $80 per the hour, we were going to charge $60 an hour. That maintained the margins for the business, maintained decent pay for the staff who didn't have to really work for it to go get it. They had to work the session, obviously. And the total price ended up being it wasn't 397 in this example was, but that's what the bad math. It ended up being hold on, let me work it out.
So like
So what was it?
520, I believe you said.
60 is 240 plus the two is 440. Actually, I think that was the total number. The total number is actually what we ended up keeping. It was 397. Yeah, it was 397 is what we ended up pricing. So, oh, can I go back? The 397 is what ended up uh, going to the gym, and then we ended up splitting that off with the coach. So every month the coach was pulling, I want to say roughly 40% of that membership. Anyway, the math made sense, and I'll send out a follow-up email with this math so you guys can see how it actually worked. But the principles are the same regardless of how you plan on doing it. Now, Miguel, we were talking earlier about the specific business practices and the systems that you had in place to ensure that you could capitalize on the increased retention, the increased revenue, the better staff satisfaction. Can you go over some of those things?
Yeah. So one of the things that I think made it easier for us, especially to start increasing those hybrid memberships or even the small group memberships, was that we created automations to communicate with our members so that for the most part, we were sending the same message. So we found what that message was that we were sending to those members, and then emailing them or texting them in a workflow, right? Way back when, before I found my CRM, I was using Trello, but once I got an actual CRM in place, we were able to build out those automations so that at either week one, week two, week three, all the way down to however long that program was, we were sending that message out to those clients so that we don't have to manually sit there on Sunday texting, emailing our clients, which, as that membership grew, it can become a lot. And so, especially like with check-in forms, I don't know how many people have check-in forms with their personal clients, but having that sent out automatically every Sunday, it was just a time saver. And as you can see here in bullet number two, is like I actually ended up using Grow for that specific reason. We created a workflow in there for 8, 12, 16-week programs, and even longer. But every week there was an email or a text message going out. And then every Sunday, like, hey, how's your week going? Where did you win? Where are we struggling with? All those things. But the automation just allowed us to handle everything a lot faster, and we had all the information in one place. So we're not going back and forth and searching for that data. But as you can see right there in the big bold, like automations will still never replace the personal connection. So whenever we got that data, we would make sure we communicated with that data to our clients once we got into our one-on-one session or our goal planning session. So yeah, automations are cool. Automations are great. I couldn't do what I did without the automations. Um, but having that personal touch is always going to carry you over and help them, to feel the love. Yeah.
Ah, gosh, I gotta figure out how to use the slideshow. Sorry. Um, that's that it already moved me on. Uh, was there was there any breakdown in the communications that you felt like you needed to double up on? Was there any what was the biggest pain point?
I think the biggest pain point really was getting or having our clients understand, and this is going to go back to habits, is right, is following the process. Everybody always wants results fast, and when it becomes like when it can become systemized, they can't see the results or anything like that. Um, but it was just getting them to really buy in and understand that it's going to take a little bit of time, do all these things because it's going to not only help us as the coaches, but as the client when you're actually listing out the things that you are struggling with or things that are being successful, it kind of opens up, it's a light bulb moment. So it was really getting them to buy in to following the processes um, to to be successful.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Did you have people ever approach you that knew that the communication did anyone ever complain that the communication seemed insincere, disingenuous?
Um, you know what? Actually, not really. I think they understood, and this could be different for everybody. Um, but my clients knew I had a little bit of like an OCD thing, and so everything was always systemized. And but the words that I used in there didn't sound so robotic. It was basically me typing everything out. But they knew like, hey, I need things to be repetitive, so that not only can I help you be successful, but I can help everybody else be successful as well.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too far off topic of the actual hybrid package, the bundling. The only reason I bring this up is because it goes without saying for the most part that this is a tool to help you for to put it bluntly, sell, right? And a lot of gym owners and coaches don't like to sell. We like to help and we like to provide solutions. And so I challenge all gym owners and all coaches to look at hybrid packages and bundling as a way to better present the solution. And in order to do that effectively in any regard, you need to care and you need to be able to have that personal relationship. So if you want to avoid being salesy, make sure that the systems that you put into place with these bundles, with these hybrid memberships, uh, are are written in a voice that makes sense, typically your own, and you take yourself through the process. Don't set these things up and then just assume that they're working well. Every single time you set up an automation, go through it as though the customer is going through it. Take yourself through it and make sure that it comes across the way that you like it. It reads the right way, and it does not put out that weird, icky sales vibe. I'm sure, Miguel, was that something that you did on a regular basis, was take yourself through the customer journey?
Yeah, and actually, before even like starting out in developing everything, I tested it not only on myself, but I tested it on my wife, who was the biggest critic.
I do
Um,
not recommend doing it, but no, I'm just
so
kidding.
we tried it out with her first, and for me, if she understood it and understood the process and understood what I was saying, I'm okay with that. Let's try it on somebody else, and then I went forward with it. Um,
Very cool.
Not only would I read what was written there, I had my staff read it as well, make sure they understand it. Because if they weren't buying it, something was wrong, and so we needed to like tinker with it.
Yep, and that makes perfect sense. And that actually leads us into the first place to start if you're ready to get going. If you don't already have hybrid memberships, if you don't already have bundles or packages, bless you, dude. Bless you. If you guys aren't already doing this at your gym, the first place that we recommend starting is with your team. Schedule a meeting or put out an email or Slack message or Facebook group, however you talk to your team, make sure that they have buy-in. Present the idea. Hey, this is what we're looking to do as far as new membership options and new services and packages, and give them a transparent reason why. This is why we want to do this. We think it'll help our new members and our current members develop or derive more value from our offerings. We think it'll increase the revenue at the gym, and as a result, we will be able to do X, Y, and Z with this new revenue. That's one of the surefire ways of creating buy-in is letting them in behind the curtain so that they understand your reasoning for making the decision. But then you also, if especially if you are going to bundle memberships with PT or memberships with a service that is going to incur more labor from them, talk to them about the scheduling concerns or scheduling conflicts that could possibly uh, crop up. So you don't want to just say, hey, this is what we're doing now, let's get at it. You kind of want to ask them for their input and see if there is a factor or variable that you might not have considered as an owner, a viewpoint that you might not have considered, and get some feedback in that regard. And like I said, the goal isn't to allow them to dissuade you from doing hybrid memberships. It's to create buy-in and allow them to feel like they are more part of the process. Miguel, why do you think it's important for your team, your staff to feel like they are part of the process?
Well, I mean, it's the biggest thing, really. I mean, same to your experience back in the sales. It's a team, right? And if I'm the only one doing it, that means I'm probably going to be the only one coaching, which takes away time from everything else that I want to do outside, as far as helping grow the business or spending time with my family. So I want to make sure the team is really bought in. Um, and once I think if you can paint the big picture that, hey, they're going to get more money, the gym is going to be more successful, it's going to be here longer, and that it's also teaching them how to kind of run a business, they can take that wherever they want.
Yep.
Um, my former coaches, they're all starting their own businesses right now. It's nutrition, kids programs for sports specific. So they've learned from those processes, and they're doing bigger, better things.
Yeah, that makes total sense. You're developing entrepreneurship. You're developing the entrepreneurial spirit inside your business. You're allowing them to make more money. Where I would start is back with what we said those three benefits were. When you have that meeting with them, cover, hey, this is the benefit to the gym. This is the benefit to the actual business. This is going to be the benefit to you guys on the team. And this is the benefit that we're providing to our clients. If you did nothing during your staff meeting but those 3 points, you're probably going to be better off than most, right? The main reason you want buy-in is because it'll allow your coaches to sell without being salesmen.
Yeah, exactly. And I think where being a salesman, that's what everybody always fears, right? But you're actually doing it on an everyday basis anyways, right? Whether you're coaching, saying hi to prospects walking in the door, you're already selling. You're selling the gym, you're selling yourself. So it's not really doing an extra step, but if you follow like the processes that you and your team can develop to bring in those memberships, um, it should not feel slimy at all.
Exactly. Yep. So after you've talked to the staff, the next point is talking to your members and your current client base. And here's I've worked with a significant amount of gyms and owners at this point, and I'm still baffled by the amount of owners who cannot tell me all the channels that they communicate to their members with. So I want you to think about all the ways that you regularly communicate with your members, and it's the way that you market. So internally, so at the whiteboard, uh, internal marketing like signage and posters, flyers inside your gym, the front desk staff, if you have a front desk, announcement board, right? Social media. Most gyms should, if you don't, you should have probably a private Facebook group or some means of communicating with them in relative real time as a group outside of the gym. I know some people started. Is it Circles? Is that a platform, Miguel, that you're aware of? It's like a chat. It's like Slack, but for civilians. I don't know.
I
They
mean, we use the social feed on the members app. So
yeah, that's a beautiful way of doing. Like, why wouldn't you do that, right? So think about all the different ways that you communicate with your members, and then your next goal is to develop interest by kind of like teasing it. Miguel, what do you think the best way to develop interest in a new packaged offering would be? What would you do?
I would actually, if you guys have the room for it, I would do like either my small group or my private during a class. So, off to the side, of course. But that's one of the ways that I developed interest within my members, because they could see like what's going on. And then eventually, like, it's a slow process. It's not immediate, but once they start seeing like Jane, all of a sudden looking slimmer and slimmer, and then John doing, his skills and his workouts are getting better.
Yes, this was the butterfly pull-up. I know that's what you were going to go with. When
Yeah.
this is the universal
Um,
butterfly pull-up.
so once they see that that was working, then they'd always be like, "Hey, what's going on over there? Is this a new program?" Why, yes, it is.
Yep.
So, like you alluded to, it's just, use your social media, use all your forms of communication, and easiest thing really is to just ask or tell somebody. We're having conversations with our members all the time when we're at the gym, whether it's, just chatting or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Conversation, right?
Yeah.
And it should come up naturally in conversation as the coaches. And one of the things that you guys should be thinking about when you are trying to market new things in your gym is market it the same way that you would market an event. Don't try and be salesy. Just build excitement around it and the value, excuse me, that the new thing will provide. So I know there are a lot of gyms that participate in the open and they hype it up with the Friday night lights. I know there are a lot of gyms that run nutrition challenges and they hype that up. Whatever way that has worked for you in the past to get participation in those channels is probably going to be the same way that you should communicate this. The main issue is not communicating it. I see way too many gyms, they develop these hybrid plans and then they just assume that people are going to find out about it some way. And 3 months down the line, a client comes up and they're like, "Hey, what is that?" And they're like, "Oh, we've been doing this for months now." And half their membership didn't even know that they offered it. So hype up the value that it brings to your members. And then I would tell your coaches to go and find people that they think will most benefit. Don't tell your coaches to go sell to certain people. Ask your coaches who are 5 members. Each coach comes up with 5 members that you think would benefit most from this new offering. Just tell me who you think would benefit the most. Cool. Go talk to them. Don't try and sell them, just go talk to them about it, right? That's usually a a better way to do it. Cool. So now we're going to go into the Q&A and we are going to go to the chat. I see the first one that I wanted to address was from Troy in the chat. And Miguel, if you can look at the Q&A and if you can answer any of those and start typing them out, that'd be great while I handle this one. Troy's question in the chat was, how do you best reconcile monthly memberships with weekly sessions when not all months have equal weeks? For example, 6 months would net 26 weeks, not 24, depending on what months in the calendar that you're talking about. So the way that I had it set up, and Miguel, if you speak to a different scenario, uh, what I would do is I would give a certain number of sessions per month. If you wanted, and then I would have them scheduled by week. So, for instance, when we did it at Max Effort, it was, hey, every month you're going to get your monthly membership and 45-minute skill sessions, right? And when we presented it, it'd be like it's once a week, right? And people would look at us and be like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense," but it's really 4 times a month. So how they were scheduled was a little bit differently though, because you're going to have members that go on vacation or they get sick and they're like, "Holy cow, I can't use it this week. Can I put it in another week?" Yeah, absolutely, because it's 4 within the calendar month. So every time you get billed for your membership, you're going to get 4 sessions with that. You can choose as the business owner whether or not they roll over or it's a use it or lose it. That's completely up to you. That would be specific to your operations and what you agree to execute on with your staff, with your coaches. Another question that I would get about that is when you bill the sessions, do I pay the coach as they get billed or as they get performed?
Yeah, I mean, I went as it was performed.
Correct. Yeah, and that's what I would highly recommend doing that because then there's no incentive for the coach. Um, but I mean there is incentive, but it might be the wrong incentive. It's financial as opposed to client's progress. So you want the coach to work to schedule them and get them on the books and executed. Therefore, the coach will get paid when they get performed. So Troy, hopefully that answers your question a little bit or accurately. And go ahead and put in chat if that works out for you.
And then to just touch on that,
Cool.
I wish I could give you a better answer there, Troy. I actually, our billing was weekly, every 4 weeks, so it didn't create that much of a headache for me. Um, that's just something to consider.
Yep, definitely. Liz, your question, if we were going to show you how to create hybrid plans in push press, we weren't planning on it specifically because we have people on this call that aren't current push press clients. And I try to keep our content as broad stroke as possible. I don't try and pigeonhole everything just to push press functionality, although I believe push press will do it the best. But I will make sure to follow up with you and go and make sure that you know how to execute on that and how to do it in the system. Nicole, does it roll over if not used in the billing period? That's going to be completely up to you. As the gym owner, I would make a decision on whether or not it is a use it or lose it or a rollover case, and I would have that discussion with your staff. Let's see, Nadine, how do you choose which coaches will do the personal training? Also, what would motivate them to train someone with a hybrid membership versus someone who would be paying for a regular personal training session for more money? That's a phenomenal question. I hope everybody reads that and understands that. Here's my take, and then Miguel, I'm going to let you go. You choose the coaches that are doing the actual training based off desire. If the coach wants to do it, they're usually motivated, one, financially, or two, they want to help people. They enjoy coaching. If they've expressed desire to do it and they are, by your evaluations as the head coach or the gym manager or the owner, they have the capacity and the proficiency to do it, then by all means set them up to do it. Now, who does the personal training might actually be left up to the customer. The customer may come to you and be like, "Hey, I want to switch my regular monthly membership into this new hybrid membership and I want Miguel to be my trainer." Well, what if Miguel's not one of the eligible trainers that you had chosen? Well, maybe now you have to have a conversation with Miguel and be like, "Hey, I'm getting people requesting you. Like, is this something that you're interested in?" That's a business operation and procedure that you're going to have to suss out based off of the demand. What I would highly, what I would want you guys to think about is be careful of assigning yourself as the gym owner or head coach all the one-on-one trainings unless you are the only coach available, for the simple fact that it could completely overload you. It's very, very easy to book out your schedule, have conflicts as a result, and then teeter totter towards burnout. The second part of your question, Nadine, what would motivate someone to train with a hybrid membership versus paying someone for a coach getting paid for a regular session? The lack of need to continuously sell. Most coaches hate selling. So and they're not only do they hate it, they're typically not that good at it. Until they learn that it's not actually sales that they need to be good at. What I would tell you is that the efficacy comes from having recurring revenue on PT. That's the most efficient, that's the most desirable way to have it done for most people. But make sure that the margin that you are selling the discounted one-on-ones at versus the regular ones is still a win-win situation for the business and for the trainer. Don't discount it so much that it makes zero financial sense for the trainer to do that. Do you have anything to add to that, Miguel?
Um, no, yeah, like nope, you got it, buddy. That
Cool.
was pretty much
All
what I
right.
was going to say.
Yep. Payroll and push press. This is from Liz. Oh, there we go. Payroll and push press only lists performed sessions that were purchased that month. Payroll has failed on me with that. Liz, I'm going to need you to payroll and push press only lists perform sessions that were purchased that month. Payroll has failed on me with that. I need you to expand on that, or is that not a question? Hybrid sessions allow coaches to get future higher paying privates. Oh, that's a great point to Nadine's Nadine's point. Hybrid sessions allow coaches to get future higher paying privates. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it could roll. That could be the on ramp to a more extensive personal training client. 100%. If I'm understanding you correctly, Liz. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's jump over to the Q&A real quick, and then Troy, I'll come back to you. Um, from anonymous, I didn't know people could be anonymous. Is there a function to allow us to add a hybrid plan to an existing membership on an individual basis? For example, a current member wants to take advantage of a hybrid plan add-on for a specific temporary program. Miguel, are you aware of that functionality?
Not that I know of. I'm still kind of really diving into the hybrid product that's going to be coming out.
Right.
Uh, once we get that, I'm sure we'll have like our how-to videos to set that up. Um, for me, just prior to the hybrid product coming out, I created it separately because most of my members already had their monthly gym membership, and then I would just create like the hybrid or the PT and adjust the pricing based on what they already currently have. So if
Okay.
like what we showed on the earlier in one of the slides, it was 397 a month. If their membership was already 150 $200, then I would just adjust the pricing for that hybrid membership to be the difference.
I'm responding to Liz's comment. I'm 100% in alignment with that. Liz, I know what you're talking about. I'm going to take that to the team and put that in as a either a request or something that needs to be addressed because I agree with you on that. It's a couple more steps to do it ourselves manually right now, I think, as gym owners, but we shouldn't have to. The system should be able to figure that out. So I'm with you on that, and I'll look into it. All my tracking is only, yeah, exactly. I remember that too. Yep. All the spreadsheets. Cool. Jordan, how are you setting up digital products like downloadable programming? Ooh. Do you have experience with remote programming or online programming, Miguel?
Yeah. This isn't a plug for Grow, but it is a plug for Grow. I had it set up in there so that once a member purchased a certain product, I would create a tag for them, and then the emails would just get sent out automatically through Grow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That so Jordan, I think that's your best workaround is when you build a membership or a product as the digital product in PushPress if that or your CRM, whatever you're using, and then you have a trigger so that when you sell that product or membership to a specific member, it then emails them based off that trigger. which is coming from the sale of the product or membership. That's the that's the way to do that. Probably so that you have the most control over it. So hopefully that answers your question. Am I supposed to be clicking answer live as I do these things? I don't know.
Yeah, we answered that live. Yeah.
Okay, answered live. Oh, answered live. Oh, cool. It's like a check mark. All right. Jen, I will make sure the follow-up email includes a link on how, like a Loom video on how to set them up in PushPress with the new functionality that's live. Jordan, need to fix spelling. How are you setting up digital product? Oh, wait, I just addressed this. So now, okay, cool. Yep. Do you recommend the hybrid memberships to be a month-to-month membership, or do the members make longer term commitments, 6, 12 month? I'm going to let you take that, Miguel.
Yeah, I would actually set these up for longer term commitments. Um, because you guys all know, like you can't see results that fast, right? And it takes time, especially if it's a very hard skill or if they're doing like they're changing their habits, they want to change their physique or anything like that. That's not going to happen overnight. Mine typically were at least 3 months or 12 weeks and longer.
Yeah, I I am 100% on board, Shannon, with a longer term commitment with a payment plan.
Yeah.
So I will do 6 and 12 month commitments specifically for hybrid things. Other than the only exception to that was the first month's membership. So we charged like $300 for the first month membership, and it came with some one-on-ones and combined with, excuse me, some group classes, right? And then after that, we either had a month-to-month membership or a 6 and 12 month option that came with skill sessions to ensure even developed progress and more attention. The skill sessions can be used for nutrition or a specific, like, oh, I want to get better at muscle ups, whatever it was. But our reasoning was we didn't want to take the time to commit to you outside of the classes if you weren't willing to commit to us. And we didn't phrase it like that, obviously, but I definitely think you can have a 6 or a 12 month commitment with monthly payments and then figure out the payment plan, obviously. I think that puts the package, it places it in a higher tier of value for the client. I think at this point in the industry, when people hear month to month, they think standard, bottom of the barrel, like this is the standard offer. They don't see it as a premium offer. I think people look at that as a like baseline. So it really depends on how you want to position your service. Anything to add to that, Miguel?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you follow up with us here at 10:45 to process start this and push press? We'd love to. We will definitely, I will send you a follow-up email, Bailey. Absolutely. Yep.
Bailey
Question.
said hello to Colin.
What's that?
So Bailey at 10:40:10. I was talking to Colin over there not too long ago. So just
Okay. Cool. I love that our team like knows the people. I love that. Question potentially outside the scope of this seminar. We run a nonprofit. I love it. In conjunction with the gym for to bundle membership with recurring monthly donation to, that's really cool. Is there a way to set it up so the donation gets routed to the nonprofit directly so that we can keep the finances separate? That is a question that is definitely outside the scope of this. Campbell, I'm gonna find out for you though. Can you send me a message with the name of the gym and the nonprofit? I am very much interested in that functionality because I think with our we might be able to do it with our are we allowed to talk about the flex fee? Do you know, Miguel?
I know it's been teased. I I think we should all wait.
Campbell, Zach at pushpress.com. Shoot me an email. I'll make sure you're taken care of.
It's pretty cool though, with the flex fee. But let's get it out there first, and then
Yeah.
let's.
We got some cool things coming for you guys. Um, Erwin, my man, hybrid options serve as more of a back end offer versus bundled as a front end offer at the moment. I've been building out sales process, offer creation. How would you suggest transitioning our back end offers of PT, nutrition, and individual design to a front end offer? So Oh, Campbell's at Deuce Gym. Okay, I know you
That's
guys.
down the street.
Yeah. Hope Logan is. I wonder if is Logan still there? I haven't talked to Logan in a long time. Cool. Oh, hey Logan, what's up, dude? He's here. Let's see. So, Erwin, I I would say bundle your front end offer based on what you as a coach. And I want you guys, I always go back to the saying from the founder, do the right things for the right reasons for the right people. He always said that. And I think when you guys are looking at making memberships and these packages, what do people need on the front end to be successful? Most people need more attention than we give them in the group class right off the bat. Unless you are already running super small classes, like I'm talking 4 or 5, less than 8 people. And even then, it takes a really good coach to give 8 people a considerable amount of attention in a group class. I would say on the front end offer, I would give a combination of nutrition education and extra mobility skill work. So I would position it like that. I would say, hey, most people need flexibility when they come in, and it's one of the things that keeps you safe and will allow a little bit of extra training on the side. So let's make sure that we get you in for 3 45-minute mobility and skill sessions per month as you learn the movements. Think about what new people need at your gym, and then that's your front end offer. Hopefully, I answered that question correctly. I think that's what you were getting at. Let me know if that's not exactly what you were talking about. Jordan's talking to you, Miguel, about a one-on-one for
Yeah.
digital product. That's awesome. Is there a chance door access is coming as a fee? Jordan, why are you asking the hard questions? You're going to get me in trouble, Jordan. You're going to get me in trouble. We're working on it, but you're going to get me in trouble. I don't know if I can say that. Um, yeah, we'll go with that. Hey, so I think this was a phenomenal. What do new people need to be successful was key. Can work well with that? Hell yeah, Erwin. I love hearing that. Um, I think first for my first webinar ever, I don't think this was too bad. I appreciate the patience from everyone. This recording will get edited up a little bit to make sure that I sound like less of a dum dum. And Miguel, you were perfect, so don't even worry about it. We will edit the recording and send it out as a follow up email. And in that email, I will make sure that we put the link for building out the hybrid functionality in your push press system. Uh, Miguel, do you have any parting words?
No, thank you guys for just hopping in and listening to us. I know everybody's going to have different ways of handling hybrid memberships, different product offerings. And just like what Zach said earlier, just if you do right by the customer, it'll work out for you. Um, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, cool guys. I appreciate it and signing off. Take care.
Let's see if I can get the thumbs up to work on Zoom.
Yeah, it
No,
never works for
there we
me.
go.
Oh, wow, fireworks. You get fireworks. How do you do that? I don't even know.
Yeah, we get the laser light show too, I think.
I don't know.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I got to figure out how to do this.